Boom, we are live. We're going live. We're talking about something deep today. Involving appreciation. No, not yet, bud. I will be ready in about 5 minutes. So we're talking about appreciation, conviction, and we're talking about mushrooms, also known as plant medicine. I had a plant medicine experience last night, and it's hard for me to even explain, but I'm gonna do my best in a nice. Sorry, I think I lost y'all. In my ice bath here, we have 40 degrees. I did an ice bath video the other day, and my temperature was off, so it was kind of warm. It wasn't nearly as cold as it said it was. So I'm gonna get this thing set up. But before I do, I'm just gonna set the mood for a little bit. I encourage you, if this has an interest to you, or like I even call it a calling, it's very strange. I felt this calling to do plant medicine after 49 years of never doing any illicit drugs other than marijuana. It was very, very strange, but I read something, I read something else, and I read something else, and I read something else, and I talked to somebody and talked to somebody else, and I felt a calling to experiment, if you will. And it was a really low dose, but I experimented that last night. Let me get my bath set up. I don't know if y'all will be able to see me or whatever, but hold on. Don't worry, I'm not taking off my underwear or my shorts. Never take off my underwear, but I usually take off my shorts. It is very cold, my friends. About 40 degrees. It's gonna keep me focused. We're gonna go about, I don't know, a few minutes here. So, whoo. So, last night about 6 o'clock, I took the dose. This is sold in stores, nothing illicit, but I have a kind of a high-end place. A friend of mine recommended to me to go. Very nice, high-class place. And they sell it over the counter. It's like, I didn't know anything about this stuff. Talked to the guy, took it home. I was nervous about doing it. I was pretty nervous, never done anything like this. 49 years, never done something. Sometimes you're gonna be a little bit nervous, but I, took it and just went and sat. We have a formal living room. I'll go ahead and post that picture as the picture for this. And I sat there in my chair. My wife usually sits across from me, and we have a couch there, and it's by the front of the house. And sat there for a while. I had my iPad and was just drawing some things that I'm working on, some ideas and some concepts, and I was just drawing them out. And shortly thereafter, my wife came in, sat down, we started talking, just having a conversation. And then my 19-year-old son came in, and we had conversation, and I just began to get, we don't see eye to eye a lot. We're very similar, but we're very different, and I try to mold him to be like me rather than him just letting him be who he is and discover his own truth. And I've struggled with that, and we went through some hard times last couple of years, and really came to a melting point last year where I kicked him out. He didn't want to come back, and when I wanted to come back, he didn't want to talk to me, and it was a big thing. It was brought me to my knees, and we mended, and we've come back better than ever. It was ultimately probably the best thing that could happen to either of us. So we're in a great place now, and I just kind of caught myself, and I stopped, and I listened to him, and I was just able to listen at a deeper level. So that was really great. And then I caught myself my communication was more of just wanting the best for him, and I just gave him a couple things to consider. And I said, let me be a guide if he wants guidance, and let me just be an ear to hear if he wants me to listen. And it was deep conversation. And then he left. My wife and I sat there talking, and I told her I was beginning to, feel the effects a little bit. And then our nanny came in. She had came by earlier to pick up our 7-year-old daughter, who honestly she has a lot of challenges that we're working through. And our nanny's no longer works with us. She worked with us for 10 to 12 years full time, and part-time for a couple years and like 10 years full-time. And she left last year after all our kids entered school and went to do something else, and she was basically like family. So she walked in and brought our daughter, and it was, I don't know, it was just surreal. Like I was seeing her, I hadn't seen her in a long time, and I was flooded with all this appreciation for what she did for my wife and I, and she was a second mother to my kids, and allowed my wife to focus on what she needed to focus on with the kids, allowed me to focus on my business, and just provide guidance to our kids, someone we could trust when my wife and I were always available. And just extreme gratitude. And for my daughter, she was running around playing, and my 9-year-old son came in, and he's acting goofy like he always did, and I just had deep appreciation for everyone. And then my nephew came in, Eddie. My nanny left, and then our nanny left, and then my nephew came in. He's in his early 20s, and he's starting a business, and I'm just so proud of him. And we're talking, and I'm just sensing it. It started becoming like a vibration. And my wife is sitting across me the whole time, and I just started, my wife is obviously an incredibly beautiful woman inside and out, and I've known this since the day I met her. But I saw a deeper side of beauty and everything that she was doing, like the way that she smiled, the way, she moved her body or adjusted the chair or got onto the kids for whatever they're doing being wild. It was just, everything was so darn cute. And I just had this overwhelming deep sense of appreciation just for my wife, for my life, and all these things. And then suddenly I felt a flood of, I didn't realize it at the time, but I saw like a flashback almost of times in my life, in my marriage, where I was basically a very shitty husband, and very much so in the beginning of our marriage. I was so immature, we had so much learning to do, and we were broke, and there was all this financial pressure, and just I was immature, and so she would tell you, so was she, and it was hard. And then we patched things up, had a good marriage for many years, but then 10 years we hit rock bottom, and it was really bad, really on the verge of divorce, and we've obviously completely made up and I believe completely healed, but there's a part of me that felt like maybe not. I don't know if I ever felt the pain that I truly caused her. I may have gotten close, but I felt a connection to that pain, and I asked her if we could go back to our room and sit on the couch and talk, alone, and we did, and I just expressed, forgiveness, and it wasn't just forgiveness, it was like a connection that we just sat there and we hugged, and she cried and I cried, and we just felt like this bond. It was crazy, and she was feeling it too, and it was this vibration that I felt with her so strongly. And we began talking about our children and other people, and I just felt this vibration that we're all connected by a vibration of energy, because we're created by God. God created us. There's energy in all of us, and it all comes from the same source. And I've read all this stuff for many years, but I've never really experienced it on the level that I did last night. And I'm getting kind of cold here, but I want to finish. So we laid in bed later on and talking some more about this and that, and I was just having these crazy, insightful thoughts and insights. And then all out of nowhere, I had this sudden thought of, what would happen, if I lost my wife. And it just it shocked me, and I internally, not out loud, but internally, I cried out no to God, don't take her, couldn't live without her. And it scared me. It scared me deeply. I went to a dark place, instantly, in an instant. It was so strange. And then I heard God saying something, speaking to me at the same, almost as quickly as that thought came in, a voice came in, and I didn't know what it was. I could feel it, but I couldn't discern what it was. And then I realized it was conviction. And it was conviction of placing things before Him. even like idols, even if that would be my wife. And you know, it was like, I don't know what it was. It was just a conviction and just to trust Him, and everything will be okay. I need not worry, and I need not place anything above Him, not even my wife. And I laid there. Peace came back over me, and I just had all this appreciation for the people in my life, the great things, even some of the bad things, the struggles I'm going through, challenges, meaning like things I had in life that, and I just started to see them as they just melted away, and I had thoughts of appreciation and gratitude rather than, stress or worry or doubt or fear, and I just had all this feelings of appreciation, just a flood of emotions. And why am I sharing this? I feel called to share. I know some of you watching this, maybe you feel this calling to plant medicine. I did this one time. Don't listen to me about this. This is just my experience. But I do feel called by God to share more, to motivate people, inspire, encourage, equip, to do what you need to do in your life, in your business, and just lead by example. And last night, I'm telling you, my friends, was an experience like I've never had before. It was life-changing. It really, it's not the lesson that always appreciation doesn't always come with deep conviction. But last night, the appreciation that I felt was like I never felt before. And attached to it was deep conviction. And that conviction, I believe, led me to learn and just to choose to appreciate more. Because if you don't appreciate the things in your life, it will lead to a deep conviction, because one day those things will be gone and you will regret not appreciating them for when you had the opportunity. So my friends, appreciate all that you have in your life. Loved ones, the great things, even your problems. The more you appreciate them, you learn that they will probably soon melt away. And the revelations will come. And my appreciation ultimately led to my revelation. I just need to appreciate more. So much to be grateful in life, my friends. That's all.